Hi, all. I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum. Today is Friday, May 25th, 2018, and you're watching WGAN TV live at 5. Our correspondent today, Leon Van Swell in the UK. Hey, Leon, good to see you as always.
Hello, Dan. Good evening.
Do you like that, being the WGAN TV field correspondent?
Well, I feel pretty famous right now then.
Okay, well that's good. Maybe your wife Joan there'll start signing autographs for you or something.
Well, you have
Yeah.
to keep all the young girls away.
Well, we don't want that to happen. So exciting news, Leon! You were at GEO Business, a trade show in the UK. I think you were there what, Tuesday and Wednesday at the show.
Yeah, the show ran on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I was there on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I know you saw at least one exciting thing, but before we get into each thing that you saw, is it possible just kind of tick off the different things we're going to talk about, what you saw?
Well, I wasn't quite sure what it was all about because I got an invitation from NCTech to join them at the show. I wasn't even aware of the show. And it was a bit of a last minute, so I decided to journey down to London, which is about just over an hour from where I am, and I took the walk up to the London Business Design Centre, which is just off Angel Tube Station, and I was actually quite blown away by the amount of exhibitors and how many people are actually competing in this space. I wasn't aware that this space is actually so big.
So geo meaning geospatial, anything to do with AEC, architects, engineers, construction, anything that needs scanning.
Anything that needs scanning, photography, measurement, and it was quite well attended by suppliers. Um, anybody from Leica to Faro to who's who in the zoo was there, and it was actually very well attended exhibition from my perspective.
Okay. Now I know there's so much to see and to talk about in this whole space of geo. I guess that's me making noise here. Let me see if I can unwind myself there. See if that helps. Does that help? Sort of. We'll try that. But I think what we really want to do is kind of focus on. So we know that our audience are Matterport service providers, Google Street View photographers. So that's kind of our lens to look at this geo business trade show, because otherwise I think we can get carried away talking about, as you mentioned, Faro scanners that can cost way more money than any of us in our real estate space are thinking about. So um, did you see a number of things, including NCTech, that you wanted to talk about, or do you want to stay focused on what you saw with NCTech announcement?
I will uh, I will talk a little bit about the things that I found interesting, uh, which I like to learn new things. So I like to talk to people, and I like to see what's out there in the world. That's fascinating. Now, uh, because essentially what they do in this space, this is how I analyze it: is one, you capture an image, and two, you measure something, and three, you find a position relative to a satellite or whatever, or a map or whatever. So those are the three major things that one does, and they are. I was amazed at the amount of different approaches that different manufacturers bring to do those three pretty simple functions. I spoke to guys that can give you millimeter accuracy on the sea with a satellite device, which I thought was quite fascinating. There were guys with drones, with unmanned aerial vehicles that could capture photogrammetry images at 60, what is that, about 40 miles an hour, and can cover huge distances and areas with that. From laser scanners, I never knew that there were so many different types of laser scanners in the world, and each company has so many different models. Too many for me to actually just comprehend. I saw amazing backpack by Leica with 5 cameras and 2 laser scanners that you can walk around, and it can continuously scan and photograph as you walk, and you can have a live view while it does that. Only problem, it's about nearly 300,000 US.
Yes, put us down for one. My birthday's coming up soon, Leon. So
So I was wondering, what kind of jobs do you have to do to justify that kind of cost? And then the Leica BLK was there, which was quite a center of attraction, and but there was a lot of interest around that. And then
and for our viewers that are interested in the Leica GEO Systems BLK 360, I believe we've done 4 different WGAN TV shows on this topic. So just look for the tag BLK 360.
other interesting things I saw, there was guys with a computer display. It's got a sort of a funny glass plate in front, and you put glasses on, and everything is amazing. It looks like a hologram that you're looking at all the time on your computer screen.
That sounds cool. You remember what that was called?
I've got it. I've got a couple of pamphlets here, which I must still read through.
Okay, well, scan them all and send them to me.
Oh, that's a week's job. Anyway, but I will read up on that. But very interesting. Lots of different applications in terms of computer applications in measuring mostly aerial photographs and giving depth and dimensions and volumes and whatever. I found another interesting little camera out there, and this is more in the Matterport scanning sort of thing. It is a 360 camera, but it basically scans like you scan a panorama with your iPhone. So it's got a 20 millimeter lens, but it gives you a 180 view, and it's a continuous photograph. But it's terribly expensive. I didn't ask a price, but it's in the tens of thousands of pounds.
That's interesting. It was a rotating camera. It wasn't just kind of a one-click 360.
It's a rotating camera, and it scans all the time. But it's got an incredible high dynamic range. So when you look at it on the monitor, you can adjust the exposure value. So and it's got 2 very bright LED lights on the side. So you can go in a tunnel, and it will scan up to 8 meters far with a light in 0 light, and you will be able to adjust the exposure on it to get just the right amount of light.
Yeah. Now, Leon, remember, I'm an American, so you can't expect me to convert meters to.
Meters and yards are more or less the same thing.
How much?
It's more or less the same.
A yard. So
a meter is about the same.
30 yards.
Now it can capture 8 yards.
So 8 yards.
Yeah. Say
okay.
9 yards.
Okay.
About the same as 8 meters.
Yeah.
Now
hang on a second. Hey Siri, how many meters to the foot?
1 meter converts to about 3.28 feet.
3.28 feet.
Yep. Okay. So you got that.
Got it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure all these feet and things, but anyway, I know a yard is about this long.
Okay, so times 8 that you could use these lights in a dark tunnel and still scan it and get the photography and the scan data.
Yes. Now that was quite interesting. But the main reason I went there was because I'm very much into spherical photography at the moment, is to look at NCTech's new
The iStar Pulsar.
iStar Pulsar, which is, that's if you can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see. You're holding it up the picture great, but I think it's a little bit hard to see. Maybe you can just kind of give us a sense with your hands of how big that iStar Pulsar camera is.
It, when you look at the dimensions are it's about 5 inches by 5 inches by 6 inches high.
So a really big grapefruit, maybe a little bit bigger than that.
It's about the size of slightly smaller than the size of my head.
Smaller than your head. Okay.
Half the big head. Anyway. Now, the key things is that it's a very specific. It's a camera designed for a very specific niche. It's not a camera that has got multiple applications. The first thing, it's mobile. So it is designed to be used on the move. It's not designed to move to be used stationary. Now, once you understand that, it means that it can capture a lot of data. It captures 7 frames per second. Okay, and
yep.
each frame is 11K panos. So in other words, they equivalent to about an APS-C camera's pano, slightly smaller. So that means that's a lot of data. So every picture is 60 megapixel picture that is captured at that frame rate. So it's designed to run more or less at about, if you run it at about 30 miles an hour, it can capture an image every 4 or 5 yards. So it is specifically been designed for Google Street View capture application. It's got a GPS antenna on top of it. It's got a inertial, what IMU unit, what do you call that?
Accelerometer, magnetometer,
yes.
barometer.
No, so it not only does it reference to the satellites, but it references space from one position to another position. So it interpolates exactly where it is. So it's very accurate in positioning itself.
Mm-hmm. Did they give you the specs on that? I mean, is it accurate within a foot, within an inch?
No, I think it's, let me just see if I can find it on the specs. I don't think they give an, it's got a magnetometer 3-axis, IMU 6-axis.
Yeah, is I don't know, is that a magnetometer or magnetometer? Is that what's designed related to finding the exact spot? I don't know the answer to that. Do you happen to know?
No, I'm not that clued up on this stuff, but
okay. Well, the point is, it's designed for Google Street View to be able to drive 30 miles an hour, have it take a picture every X second, and then that can be uploaded to you to a Google Street View to create the Google Street View tour. So that's one of the primary use cases, or just one of the use cases they described for you.
I think that is one of the primary use cases. It's not a camera designed for many applications. Although I can see and they currently developing the app with it, where you'll be able to adjust the frame rate.
Yeah. I'm going to say it has lots of applications, is going to be my guess here, because it's not just capturing the photography, it's capturing scan data, correct?
No, it's not capturing scan data.
No scan data at all. It's just for photography.
It is just photography.
Wow.
It
Okay.
is, it is purely capturing high quality 360 photography at high speed.
Okay. And did they give you a price yet? Is it shipping?
It should be shipping shortly. It is now available. You can order it at the moment.
Because I couldn't find it on their website, nctech.com, nctech.com. I obviously I found the NCTech iStar Pulsar page. I found the specs, but when I went into the store to buy it, there were two other cameras that.
No, I don't think you can actually. It should be available for order within the next week or two.
Okay. They give you a price?
They didn't give me a price specific, but I found a price on the Spar 3D website, which I did an article on it, and there they priced it at 5,750 British pounds, which is probably equivalent to about 9,000 US.
Hey Siri, how much is 5,700 British pounds converted to US dollars?
5,700 British pounds is $7,580. And
So 7,600 US. Now that still seems very expensive to me, just for a camera that is doing high resolution photography. There's got to be something more that I just don't understand here, Leon. And I say that because you can buy a $300 360 camera that does interval shooting and upload it to Google Street View. So is the only difference is, well, I guess one was the.
When you look at it, you can see it is it's a rugged workhorse kind of camera. It's a one button, put it on the camera and it collects. It's got a 256 gigabyte SSD memory, so you can collect a huge amount of data with it. You can connect your external power source to it, so you can run it on a. It is weatherproof, so you can run it on the top of a car's roof all day, collecting data. So.
Well, but I'd ask the question. The Insta360 Pro, a high-end 360 video photo, I think it captures 8K, is about 3,500 US. So I'm trying to understand. Now, the Insta360 Pro does not come with the GPS, but you could buy a separate GPS unit to connect it. So I'm just trying to understand. Did you get any sense of what's of on the NCTech iStar Pulsar why somebody would pay more money for?
Don't quote me on the price, because I haven't got the price. The price I've got is via the Spar 3D.
Okay. All right. So that's Spar, the number 3, the letter D.com, Spar 3D. Coincidentally, in about 2 weeks, I'll be at the 2018 Spar 3D Expo and conference in Anaheim, California, and I'm looking forward to stopping by the NCTech booth to see the iStar Pulsar and try to understand better about the use cases of it and how it differs from what I think might be a competitor. So it's an interesting topic. Did you learn more about the camera?
Well, it's designed for big data capture. It's not. You can, and I'm referring here to my little pamphlet here to just make sure that I get my.
Okay. Yeah. Because I did have a chance to talk with the NCTech folks at the 2017 Google Street View Summit in Tokyo, and then again at the 2017 SPAR 3D Expo and Conference, and that was a coming soon, which soon I think was supposed to be the end of summer 2017. And I don't think the NCTech Pulsar, excuse me, the NCTech Lazarus VR cameras even started shipping, and I guess that would be the high-end one for capturing scan data and the photography. I'm sorry on the sound, Leon. I don't know if that's me or you. Is there anything we can do to check? Is that you or me? Is it me?
I think it's you.
Me. Okay. I'm so sorry. We'll have to hire an engineer for WGAN TV. Maybe at the same time we'll get my makeup and hair and stylist and the set design taken care of at the same time. So I'll try not to move to mess up the sound. But you know, I have a need. I have a client that's got 100 acres for sale, and has been talking about driving that property. So my ears, you know, perk up when I hear about this camera that captures 60 meg photos, one every 7 frames, designed with GPS capturing the data. And so I may be in the market to buy one of these things, but I'm trying to understand what the difference is between, say, maybe an Insta360 Pro, which sounds like it might be half the cost. What do I get? Is it better photography? Is it better GPS data? Is it just that it's seamless and easy to upload to YouTube? So that's kind of questions I have on that.
I would say this is definitely an industrial quality unit. It's a type of camera. It will not break if you drop it. You can use it in the rain. It will work all day long if you plug it into external power supply. You can take 256 gigs worth of data on the memory. It's got automatic stabilization, so whatever movement there is, you don't need a gimbal or whatever. It's stabilizer. The data is encrypted. It's got precision optical calibration, sub-pixel calibration on the optics, provided you don't get too close, like all the.
Yeah. Yeah, I think any camera is going to any kind of solution with multiple. Did it say how many lenses? Is it 3? Is it 5?
It's got 4 lenses.
4 lenses, yeah. So I think any camera is going to have a challenge if you're too close to the camera related to the parallax errors. Okay. Anything else on the NCTech iStar Pulsar?
Well, we were talking to Scott from Cupix the other day, and I was looking at his idea of taking video and the algorithm takes the best picture out of. But the picture quality from the video capture is not the greatest because it's this is basically a time-lapse camera which captures images at 7 frames per second, which is it gives you very high quality images, and you can use it inside buildings, outside buildings. You can put it on a backpack. I'm going to show you an image that they have on a backpack here. They've got a backpack kit, so you can either walk it, you can get on a bicycle and ride with it over your head. You can mount it on top of a car, and the only thing you limit it to is probably about 30 miles an hour. You can constantly capture spherical images.
Well, that kind of inspires me for 2 use cases. The first one you talked about is for Google Street View. The second one is working with what I would consider a Matterport competitor, Cupix, that creates models from any 360 photo or video camera using photogrammetry or videogrammetry, as we learned from Scott Anderson, the VP of Sales at Cupix on WGAN TV. And thank you for joining us for that show and asking questions. This seems like a nice pairing, meaning if the examples I think that Scott was showing us with Cupix were generally taken with a $300 or $400 camera. The photography, probably good enough for a lot of use cases. But for you and me as a photographer, probably would say, well, those images look a bit soft, and the HDR doesn't look so great. And so this seems like it might be a perfect fit using it with Cupix to have great photography in. And be able to cover a great distance walking a space or walking a construction site.
I think this camera, your cost per image is going to be incredibly low, and this is the type of camera you'll use on big sites, and on sites you have to capture often. So I can imagine if you have to capture warehouses, if you have to capture big construction sites, if you have to capture mines or anything outdoors, and you have to capture.
Leon, you have to stop. You're getting me so excited about this camera, and I don't want to have to talk to the CFO, my wife, about yet another toy that I want to bring into the house for $6,000, let alone however much that geeky backpack accessory is going to cost me. But it is really exciting. When you think about that. This camera you could use with Cupix and be able to do outdoors, do large spaces, and especially if you're talking about work progress. So shooting every week 100,000 square feet or 500,000 square feet, that's not something you can do with Matterport. And now we're starting to see a practical. A camera specifically designed for this kind of application, this NCTech iStar Pulsar.
Dan, I've been shooting quite a bit 360s with either I've got a Ricoh Theta and I've got a Xiaomi Mi Sphere camera, and I shoot a lot with a DSLR. Now my speed with my DSLR single shot, not HDR, is about the same as I can do with the one-shot cameras, but I spend a lot of time in post-production in stitching them all together. But the one-shot cameras, you constantly have to go and hide somewhere and then run back and move the camera and so on and so on. I've found that the method with the one-shot holding it above your head, the quality of the images are not very good if they hand out. It requires a tripod to stand on to get a decent quality picture out of it.
Well, if you walk like an Egyptian, you can just kind of keep it nice and smooth. So,
but try and do that all day.
So does that mean this camera that the NCTech iStar Pulsar has a stabilizer or a gyro or something to deal with that walking motion?
It says, and I'm gonna read off the pamphlet here. Advanced stabilization. Our fully automatic post-processing pipeline includes an optional auto horizon stabilization feature to rectify any pitch and roll induced when capturing on foot via the NCTech tracker backpack system.
Did you read that as an optional extra?
Yes, it is an optional extra. Under the specification, they've got the optional extras include a hard shell case, a vehicle roof mount, an Explorer backpack, and a battery pack for the Explorer.
I want all of that, all of it. How many pounds? How much?
No, but I've looked at the other accessories and it's not cheap. So
yeah, if I was watching this show, if I was watching WGAN TV, and I lived in a place that doesn't get a Google Street View car doing frequent updates, and so I go onto Google Street View and I go, we have such a beautiful town, but Google was here 4 years ago. I mean, I would love to have this camera either mounted to the car or mounted to the backpack and go update the Google map with current photography. And I see there's monetization there too, Leon. I think, the Chamber of Commerce, the economic development, the somebody that wants to sponsor all that, but just to go update all the Google. I think what this is doing is democratizing Google Street View in order to be able to have miles and miles and miles of streets of cities and towns that don't get frequently updated with Google, to have it be updated by you and me who figure out how to go charge somebody that would want that photography.
Exactly. I have visions of putting it on my back and going cycling in my favorite cycling paths, or my favorite gardens. Just take a walk through them and just capture them. It's tourist it opens up the world to so many options.
It's very exciting. I'll do my best, whether it's at the because I will be in Los Angeles. Excuse me, I will be in San Francisco next week for the 2018 Google Street View Summit, and I mentioned that the following week I'll be at the 2018 SPAR 3D Expo and Conference. So I'll see if we can get somebody from NCTech on camera with an iStar Pulsar, let them take us through all the specs and the geeky stuff that we want to hear, but then also to ask them the use cases. What is their vision? Is it Google Street View? Is it working with platforms like Cupix? Is it doing large construction sites? And then I'm also curious about all these specs that they've built into it that say, well, who would want to use it in the rain and why? And what is the backpack for, and who would use that and why? And why is this stabilization important? And is 7 frames a second, is that a magic number related to how, if you drive 40 miles an hour, is that a problem publishing to Google Street View? So I want to hear how all those specs kind of map out to use cases.
I think if you look at video frame rates and look at if you look at video, you're looking at 4K on average. If you've got a pretty decent setup, this is 11K. I think in order to achieve 11K, you have to slow the frame rate down to capture that amount of data.
I wonder, though, when you publish it to Google, do you happen to know what the maximum that Google supports? Google Street View?
Well, Google used to be 8K, but they've been working with NCTech on developing this camera. And Google has upped the image quality to 11K. That's what I believe.
Okay. So this camera, so 2 railroads coming together in the middle, and we now have a new ceiling, and this ceiling is the top of that ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts about since you do have this quality photography? Is this overkill to shoot a house for sale? Because is that a use case, or no? Not. It's meant for capturing large spaces.
I think shooting a house for sale with this. It's not the right use for it.
Wrong tool. So you have to have super large spaces that probably need to be shot frequently, and the ability to shoot outdoors is a huge plus.
This is a camera for big data. It's not a camera for small data. A house is small data in terms of this. The other iStar camera, the iStar Lite and the whatever, that is, if you want to shoot 360, that is the right product for tripod-based.
Well, that'd be a good question to ask, because I wonder if those cameras just simply go away, the other ones, and that if NCTech focuses on two cameras, the iStar Pulsar and the Lazarus VR, which captures the scanning data as well.
I'm not sure. They've got quite a loyal following on the normal iStar.
Okay.
As a very simple, high quality 360-degree camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cheap, but it works all day, every day. It can be used by anybody, and and you know, when you work with lots of people, the same equipment, you need something very durable.
Yeah, so this would be the logical upgrade for that ecosystem to say, okay, we got something better.
Yeah, I think what looking into the future, and these are the questions you can perhaps get more detailed answers upon. They spoke about a handheld scanner, I think, more than a year ago. That is coming to fruition relatively soon as well. And that is going to be, I think, probably you'll be able to hand scan rooms. It's got about the 8-meter range of what you can scan, and you can.
Well, I think what we're going to see, Leon, is drones that can just simply take the camera and fly through the house and not knock the lamp over. To me, that's coming within a short period of time. It's not much longer until the mashup of the scanning photography and a drone and we'll be able to do the inside of a space.
You're right, and so I think there's some exciting technologies coming very shortly. But at the end of the day, we can all just drool over these technologies. You have to bring the market along with the technologies, and you have to implement technologies into the marketplace, which Matterport has done very successfully. If I just look at how the number of inquiries are growing around the world, I think Matterport is really starting to reach a critical mass, especially in the US, but it's now starting to move into the rest of the world market as well.
Yeah, I think as you went through the list and you started ticking off the specs. 60 meg photo, one picture every 7 frames, mobile stabilization, backpack, car mount. I want it. I want it. I think it's the kind of thing that if I go shoot a space, it's 100 acres and I drive it or walk it or both to capture all the data. I could probably pay for the camera with one project.
Yeah.
Won't make any money on the one project, but I probably could pay for the camera with one good size project. And then I'm sure that my wife will love that we're driving out for Friday night dinner, having this. I say, but I have to scan. I'm compelled to scan. We have to have the camera on the top of our car, scanning everywhere we're going, creating gobs of data to upload to Google so that I can be ranked 7 levels, 8th level tier, because I can get my digital prizes then for
with this camera you'll get to level 10 in no time.
I'll be level 10. What do I get for level 10?
Well, I think you get I think I'm level 7 at the moment.
I think I'm 7. So what do I get if I hit 10?
I'm sure you fly in the private jet of Google.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, but maybe if you say it, it'll happen. So, hey, if you're tuning in from Google, we're planning to be level 10. Leon and I. He's in the UK. I'm in Atlanta. Maybe you could fly us to meet up someplace, Greenland or Iceland or something. Private jet. I like that. We can scan it too. We'll scan the jet.
And we will mount it on the roof of the plane while we
I love that. I love that. So will they have to slow up the plane because otherwise it's going to capture an image once every hour, once every?
that would be actually quite interesting, because I think because this camera is designed, you can mount it on a drone. It will probably be quite easily be mounted underneath a plane, and capturing at 7 frames a second, you will probably can capture a lot of images.
Yeah, I can't get the words out. There's a lot of while I'm at the Google Street View Summit, there's yet another conference going on in Tokyo. It's the IVRPA, which is really probably about the top 1% of 360 photographers, photo, video. And one of the previous IVRPAs that I was, I mean, those are the people that hang outside the helicopter with their 360 gear. So I just bet they can't wait to get one of these things and hook it up to a helicopter or some small aircraft and start mapping. It'll be really interesting. So I want one. I want that backpack. I mean, looking at that picture you held up, I mean, how sexy is that?
That is, and I'm gonna.
You can hold that up again. I mean, how sexy is that? A backpack with the NCTech iStar Pulsar. Is Joan there?
Yeah.
Joan, what do you think? If this Joan is Leon's wife here. Joan, if Leon was walking around with this backpack with this camera, you holding that up? Show Joan.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is that sexy or what?
It is actually. It's cool. It's very cool. Yeah.
Leon, you found the right woman. My wife wouldn't say that.
No, it's cool.
All right. So, Leon, I think we probably talked enough about the NCTech iStar Pulsar. Was there anything else at the GEO Business show you wanted to talk about, or was this really the star of the show for you?
I think that was really the start of the show for me. There were lots of things, and when one goes to a show and there's so many different technologies, you actually have to focus yourself on what is important for you to see, because you can't see everything. I would love to go back there again next year. I will plan more time, spend more time chatting to more people. It's always, you learn such a lot at these shows. I would thoroughly recommend anybody going there just to satisfy some sort of curiosity.
Yeah, so I think you certainly have you've given me kind of a sneak preview. So now I'm super excited knowing that I'm going to be at the 2018 Google Street View Summit in San Francisco, May 30th and 31, 2018. And knowing that NCTech is going to be there, that's exciting. I look forward to seeing if we can get them on camera for our viewers, and then see them in context of SPAR 3D Expo and Conference the following week in Anaheim, California. So if you all are watching this as a recording, I guess we're live now, but I guess today is Friday, May 25th, 2018. If you're watching this as a recording 2 weeks from now, then come back, look for the WGAN TV episode where we get hopefully NCTech on camera talking about their camera, not only the specs but the use cases of what they see. And plus, I know that there'll be all kinds of more cameras on display at Google Street View Summit, and I'm sure there'll be some more at SPAR 3D Expo and Conference. So, Leon, thank you so much for giving us this insight into the camera at the show.
Thank you, Dan, for having me.
Thank you, Leon. So Leon Van Swel, our WGAN TV field correspondent, reporting on his discovery at the GEO Business Expo conference in London this past week. And I thank you again, Leon, and thank you all for tuning in to WGAN TV Live at 5. I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum. We have been recording today's show, and we will post it to the We Get Around Network Forum. So if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, if you just type in WGAN-TV.com, WGAN-TV.com, that'll take you to the We Get Around Network Forum, where you could just simply type in We Get Around Network Forum.com to go to the forum, and then search for tag for NCTech. NCTech is a tag in order to see this program, or search for iStar Pulsar in order to see more on that camera and other cameras. So anyway, Leon, enjoy your evening. I know it's late in the UK, and my wife's been texting me during the show, so time to head home for dinner. And thanks again to Joan for loaning you to us.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Leon. Bye-bye.